What an epic disaster. A new Fire Emblem game on mobile out of nowhere, and no one's talking about it. No one's playing it. Nobody cares about it at all because mobile is a dead platform with no future. And I really have to wonder, like, what the motivation behind this game is because that's one of the weird things about this. Looking at it from a marketing perspective, is that they just shadow dropped a new Fire Emblem game exclusive to mobile on Nintendo today. They released it, and it's like the single worst thing I think Nintendo has ever produced. Like, it is so bad. It is just nothing about it makes any sense from like the monetization angle, the general gameplay loop, like the themes. Like, it's just weird to me that Nintendo thought that they were going to make a gay furry Fire Emblem. Like, to me, I don't know what to make of this because it kind of is making me concerned about Fortune's Weave and what they're going to do with that. Because I do think we do need to like speak out against how gay Fire Emblem has been getting. Like, I've been unhappy with this ever since Fates, but like it really is frustrating how like Intelligent System seems to be obsessed with shoving gayness in everything. Like it's ridiculous. Like, I don't buy like the setup for Shadows. I don't like the whole the whole Yuri angle. I don't like anything about it. Like, nothing about it makes any sense. And the game is like, I guess what they're trying to do is ease people into the ideas of like, well, Fire Emblem is just like this now. Well, no, because because I like the older Fire Emblems, and they're not like this. It does need to be like emphasized more that like the LGBT community has no place in Fire Emblem, no place in gaming, no place in anything really. Like, I don't want to see it ever. And honestly, I would push to have it banned, not only in America, but in its home country as well. Like, because this is ridiculous. They can't come up with cool, interesting, unique concepts and have to pander to this niche demographic. And it just doesn't work, and it never will work. It's kind of shocking to me just how few people buy this idea that like totally, oh bro, like they're totally in love with each other, bro. Like, it just, no, absolutely not. No matter how hard you try to make it a thing, you're never ever ever gonna get around the fact that like male players are gonna want to fuck both of the chicks. So that's Yuri, is that it is just a fantasy for men. Lesbians don't exist. But when it comes to like an actual core product, like what exactly were they trying to accomplish with this? Like an Among Us clone? Really? Like, oh, expose the traitor. Like, it's like the gameplay makes no sense. It's nothing like Fire Emblem. You have to like suss out like an imposter. Like, there aren't enough players for that. Like, it just, like, playing this, it feels as if this is doomed to die. Like, this game is a complete abject failure, and like I don't even know how I even left the production stage, honestly, because it feels cheaper and lazier than Heroes did like 5 years ago. Like, I was so enthusiastic about Fortune's Weave, but now, seeing this, I am very concerned about the people at Intelligent Systems and what their motivations are, because there is no reason for Nintendo mobile games to exist. Like, none. I don't want to see them. They can produce like cheap, like cash in apps for kids or whatever to get people like, somewhat into the brand, but they don't need to put out like games obviously influenced by meme games from 5 years ago. Like, nobody cares about Among Us. Okay, I would argue that like nobody even cared about Among Us even at the peak of its relevancy. So the idea that they would create an entire game around the concept just doesn't sit right with me at all, and it's not even well implemented. Like, what do you mean? Like, every battle has a traitor? It just, like, I don't know. Like, I guess Kurt's kingdom is doomed to fail. I mean, obviously, considering their solution to a hereditary crisis was to like force the daughter to LARP as a. It just like, it's just, come on, come on. Like the kingdom deserves to fail in Fire Emblem Shadows. I have never felt that way in any Fire Emblem game ever. If like literally like 1 out of 3 guys is a traitor, like serving the evil cult, and like maybe like if you're constantly getting backstabbed, if things are going wrong, if like you know, if you're if your leader is a lesbian, like maybe it's time to hang up the towel, okay? Maybe it's time to just quit and just let the evil dragons win this time because like this kingdom isn't worth saving. Like what are we even doing? Like it is downright embarrassing. And I do think we as fans really do need to like just make it clear that like we don't want this, like I don't want overly fetishized characters. I want interesting, well-written like characters that you like for being well-rounded characters. Like I don't love Lucina because she's like overly sexualized. I like her because of her earnestness and her personality and like the things she does in the plot, right? you know I don't love these characters because like I fetishize them really. Like I love them because of what they do in the plot and their story. But more and more, like it feels as if Fire Emblem is becoming fetishized, and not necessarily in like a reasonable like capacity with like normal, like they are like going straight into furry and like homosexual territory, and that's something that just should not be allowed. Like it's something that's really impacting my enjoyment of the franchise. And honestly, like I would seriously consider like not playing Fortune's Weave if like this situation gets any worse. We do kind of have to like we do have to kind of discuss this more often because like it is becoming like it is probably like the big problem with Fire Emblem right now. The one that nobody is addressing is just how out of place the tone is with what the games are supposed to be about. You know, like they are too fetishized. They do focus too much on the characters. They don't have enough strategy. They don't really have enough gameplay. They're not well paced. Like there's all these problems with Shadows that just feels as if like it could leak out into the main games. And thankfully, like Shadows is a spin-off game that honestly probably won't even outlast Heroes. I'm hoping this gets canceled immediately, but this game is like just embarrassing and honestly one of the worst things Nintendo has ever done. Now we'll have to see like if this situation gets worse or if they're gonna try to normalize it or what have you, or if there's like a real genuine pushback because I saw a lot of people like really upset with the game when it first came out, and like I've been seeing a lot more people like be enablers to its sense, but I imagine that's mostly like just the furry community and just like sexually degenerate weirdos. Like the actual game, I think, was very, very badly received. So I hope this is going to lead to like the game getting straight up canceled. Because like if something is like relatively popular as like Animal Crossing Pocket Camp or Miitomo or uh like things like that. You know, like if those could get canceled, like Dragalia Lost, games like that could be canceled. I think we could reasonably expect to see that like this could end relatively quickly if there's enough player pushback and enough people like acknowledging that this is ridiculous, that this is not something that I want to play or support. And yeah, I have no intention of talking about or caring about Shadows going forward. They already dropped the ball. There's no getting me back. Um, and I will continue criticizing Nintendo's mobile efforts going forward because these are some of the worst things the company has ever done.